What's going on? Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. As always, if you would like, you can follow me on Instagram at DreamRare. You can follow me on Twitter at Legendary Energy. You can check out my website. I have music, poetry, and more news analysis on legendary.vision. And of course, stay tuned on Facebook. I'm going to wait about 5 more seconds for people to come in. And I have a question in the midst of this week, and just in general, is something that I talk about a lot, and I think it's a sensitive subject. So first off, I want to say that, mental illness comes in all forms, and also mental health comes in all forms. I have a lot of respect and compassion for anybody going through anything. Even amidst, the greatest life, you can get depressed, you can get thrown off your course, and I have a lot of sympathy and empathy for that. So first off, this is in no way meant to be disrespectful or demeaning, but I do want to say, amidst all of these celebrities now screaming and crying for gun control and literally crying on television and lying and doing all this stuff, why is mental health never properly addressed? Because I think I know the answer, and a lot of these celebrities, a lot of these news sources are the culprits. Because to be mentally healthy, you have to believe in yourself, you have to be comfortable, you have to be happy, you have to be strong. These are signs of somebody that's mentally healthy, and all of the news networks, even the popular right-leaning ones on television, and especially now the 95% negative CNNs and MSNBCs and those type of news sources who have been proven to only be 5% positive, they're pushing mental illness onto their own people, spreading it more widespread than I've ever seen in my entire life. In this campaign, it's a known fact that before Hillary Clinton's record-breaking failing campaign, and I say this not to point fingers, I'm just saying this to be honest, what has the most influence, she spent $1.2 billion and talked about less policy and more personal attacks than ever. A personal attack, is that something that somebody mentally healthy does? No, you focus on yourself, you don't attack people, you have compassion, you have sympathy, you try to reach out to people. Somebody that's mentally healthy doesn't attack people, and she spent $1.2 billion attacking people, and that campaign is now seeped over into this presidential election. And even before that, the news sources, all they do is spread fear, paranoia, anxiety, division. This is for the last 15 years, CNN, Fox News, NBC. That's all they do is spread fear, division, paranoia. And then on the commercial breaks, what do? They sell you lawyers and pills that a lot of people, I'm not saying all of them, I'm not a doctor, I don't claim to be, but they sell a lot of these pills that most healthy people would never need, but they don't care about healthy people. They don't care what the mental state of the shooters are. They don't care what the mental state of the average person is, because it's all a fake scheme. You have Jimmy Kimmel crying on television for gun control. Meanwhile, what companies does his network advertise with? Does he advertise with good companies that spread good food to people, a good message to people? Does the news spread a good message? Does it spread a healthy, optimistic message like, hey, this might be bad, but we're going to take care of it? These news sources spread the complete opposite of mental health. They spread mental illness onto the people. I made a joke. I deleted it because I felt like it wasn't appropriate, but I said, you don't need to work with a terror group anymore to be radicalized. You just have to watch Rachel Maddow, and you'll be radicalized with hate, division, fear, and paranoia about stuff that doesn't even exist. And then you go to the commercial break, and they're selling you Zoloft and all of these depression pills before they even tell you. Have you ever seen a commercial that said, hey, are you feeling down? Maybe you should take a break. Maybe you should get better friends. Maybe you should go walk in the sun, or, take a day off and go in nature. You'll never see a commercial like that. You'll never see a news anchor. You'll never see Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel or any of these people, Rachel Maddow. You'll never see them say that, because they don't actually care about people. They don't care about your mental health. They only care about pushing a political agenda forward. And to be honest, I'm no fan of Republicans. I think they're, for the most part, complete scum. All of them. Nearly all of them. But the Democratic Party platform literally preys on weakness. That's their whole strategy. They don't have set values. Even, I'm not a big Republican fan, but before, the John McCains and people like that started being completely phony and not even being conservative, most Republicans pander to conservatives. The freedom of speech, the freedom of guns, Christianity, and these were the values that conservatives, a lot of them value. They at least had something that they're pandering to as far as, hey, this is what we're... The Democratic Party, they prey on weakness, fear, and mental illness. They want you to be weak. They want you to need these things. They want you to need them. They want you to be fearful of the other side. They want you to be scared and paranoid. That's their whole platform, is pandering to people with mental illness. So when I see the Jimmy Kimmels and, these celebrities just screaming for gun control, and none of them talk about mental health, I can only assume it's because the corporations that they work for push mental illness onto people 24/7. That's literally what they do. That's their campaign strategy, is let's convince everybody that they're oppressed, they're weak, that everybody's out to get them. Let's not let them be mentally strong. Their platform even changed from being like, hey, we stand up for the working class. That used to be what the Democratic Party went with. Now it's like, hey, we hate America. You should hate America. You should hate yourself. You should hate white men and white women. You should hate conservatives. You should hate Republicans. You should hate pretty much everybody except for us. That's literally their strategy. Their strategy is to be as mentally ill as possible. And then they feed people prescription pills. Say, hey, on the commercial break, now that we've scared you, now that we've made you fearful and hateful, here's some more pills. And I can't help but think that these two things are linked, that they're spreading mental illness. A mentally healthy person, when you think of mental health, once again, what do you think? What do you think of when you think mental health? You think strong. You think happy, motivated. These are things that go with mental health. Strength, happiness. This is what being mentally healthy is. If you're sad and weak, you're not mentally healthy. So strong and happy, they don't push happiness or strength. They do the opposite. They tell women that they're being oppressed in a time where it's the greatest time ever to be a woman. If you're a woman, you are powerful, more powerful than potentially most men. You have a certain unique power of, intelligence, of emotions and beauty, and, a unique ability to be able to, get people to do things that even men couldn't get people to do. It's a uniqueness of, men and women are treated differently, and all due respect to, ignorant, terrible men that use their physical strength to oppress and hold down women, that's terrible. But women are strong. Why is there no, person on that side saying, hey, women, you are strong. You can do it whatever you want. They don't show you the women who start businesses. They don't show you the women. They want you to be weak. If you're a person of color, a Latino, they don't want you to be strong and proud and happy and realize you're in one of the greatest civilizations ever in order to gain wealth and actually make it from the bottom of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid. These are the best times ever to be able to make it to the bottom of the pyramid to near the top of the pyramid. No other time in history was it even possible to go from the bottom to the top. It was impossible. You were a slave. You were a serf. You were part of a family that you had no way to accumulate wealth. No way whatsoever. You worked in the field, you did this job, you did this labor, and you were never going to make it to the royal families. That's how society was before this era. Now we have computers, we have technology, we have travel. You can do anything that you want ever, but the news sources that the Jimmy Kimmels work for, the news sources, the CNN and MSNBCs and even the Fox News in a different direction, they push fear, division, paranoia on people, and they never, ever, ever talk about mental health. This is because, left or right, the politicians, for the most part, don't care about people. They don't care about your safety. They don't care about your health. Why do you think Bernie Sanders, no matter what happens, he's screaming the same two things? Single-payer health care. He doesn't care about your health. He cares about his strategic health bill. These politicians, even right-wing people, Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, Who cares about them? I'm not sticking up for them either. They don't want you to be healthy. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to be motivated and realize you have the power. You don't need a piece of legislation, and you don't need to pay insurance companies $300 to $1,000 a month to be healthy. Go back 100 years and tell someone, hey, how are you healthy? Is it because you pay $500 every month? Is that what health is? Is that what we've made health to be? Because you can't even talk about health care without people saying that. I talk about health care and I talk about tea and water and exercise and independence and, happiness and lack of stress. And I'm like, hey, that's healthcare. People are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm a progressive. Healthcare means Bernie Sanders' healthcare bill. I mean, and on the other side, they're fighting that. No, that's not healthcare. This is healthcare. It's ridiculous. Health care. Taking care of your health has nothing to do with spending hundreds of dollars a month to insurance companies, which you will likely never get back. It will be redistributed to somebody who's way sicker than you until you spend so much stress and so much time and so much money accumulating this money to pay thousands of dollars a year until you eventually get sick, and then they act like they help you. Oh, well, now we're going to help you. Well, maybe I wouldn't have been so stressed and so sick if I didn't have to pay thousands of dollars a month or a year to a cause that I don't need. I could use that money for myself. The whole political structure, the whole entertainment and media structure is depend on us. Don't think for yourself. Don't be healthy. We'll tell you how to be healthy. No. And they never talk about mental health. That's why even throughout my videos, people will disagree with me, saying, normally I don't agree with your opinion, this or that. But the overarching theme here, if people haven't noticed, is motivation, inspiration, positivity, connection. I mean, I might stray off the path once every now, but I always end everything with God bless you. Thank you so much. Appreciation, gratitude. This is nowhere to be found. And especially from the left side, I don't want to pick sides, but at least the right now, they're happy. They're like excited. They're like, hey, let's America, it's a good place, or I don't know, I'm happy. And then the left, no, you can't be happy. You can't be grateful. You can't be appreciative. You can't love yourself. You can't love your country. You have to hate yourself. You have to hate your country. You have to hate. And then those are the same people saying, oh my God, let's take your guns away. And let's not even talk about mental health. There's nothing to be said with mental health and shooters and, crime. There's no correlation. This is the reality of what's going on. There's mental illness being blasted on people. And now it's gone so far that now they've convinced people to attack people who are healthy, to drag them down. To say you can't be happy, you can't be healthy, you can't be a good person, you can't love yourself. If you love yourself, you're oppressing other people. If you love your skin color, you're hating other skin colors. If you love your culture, you hate other cultures. If you love, your country, you hate minorities and other people. What are you talking about? Who made this up? It's the media. It's the celebrities. There's a reason that they all think in one direction. It's not because it's the right way. It's because they're puppets and they're controlled. If they ever told you the truth, if they ever shared honesty or appreciation or gratefulness and all of these things that account for a successful, happy person, you don't become successful by pointing the finger. That's how you become a slave to a society and a system that wants to give you little things so they could take everything. They don't want you to be free. They don't want you to be happy. And now they're convincing not happy, not free people to drag down the free and happy people, which everybody has the opportunity to be. It's a complete and utter trap. So once again, the overarching theme of this speech is, why is mental health never talked about? And why is ungratefulness, why are all the signs of a mentally unhealthy person being blasted, billions of dollars of advertisements being blasted to people, telling you to be unhealthy? Of course they're not going to talk about mental illness. They're the main culprits. And they're probably profiting on the back end from the pharmacy companies from making people so mentally unhealthy. If people were more healthy and united, you wouldn't need a bunch of pills. You would have natural resources to gain your mental health back. But they don't do that. They're pushing division. They're pushing mental illness, and they don't want people to be healthy. What changed my life, what changes a lot of people's lives, and pretty much any successful person ever can account to, if it wasn't someone else in their life that, helped them a little bit, they'll say, hey, you know how I got successful? Hard work, perseverance, believing in myself. These are things that every successful person shares. Gratefulness. It's why before the award shows turned into a let's bash the president, let's bash America, let's bash reality, it was, I'm so grateful, thank God that I'm here. These are characteristics of a successful person. Gratefulness, strength, perseverance, and hard work. But now the media is telling people, oh, you're racist if you're not hateful, if you're not mad, if you're not pointing the finger at other people. This is the message being blasted down our throats. So you're going to have a nation of unsuccessful, unhappy people. Perfect for the pharmacy industry, perfect for the politicians, and perfect for the celebrities who prey on your unhappiness so you can live, you can live through their lives. Be like, oh, I need to watch their movie. I need to watch their show because they're going to make me happy. I don't have a good life, so let me watch a good life on television show. Of course, it plays right into the pockets of the pharmacy industry. It plays into the pockets of the late night hosts, and it plays into the pockets of the movie industry. But it's never going to make everyone healthy. It's making people less healthy. And when it comes to mass shootings, and not even mass shootings, when it comes to crime and when it comes to general unhappiness, of course mental health plays a part in it, because what mentally healthy person would throw their life away? What mentally healthy person would attack people all the time, would be always pointing the finger? Okay, I did that for my whole life. That's why I'm so passionate about it now. I did that. I didn't have a lot. I saw people that had family with music connections, and I saw people who had a lot of money and a big team, and I had nothing. I had one little half-broken laptop, I had one pair of broken headphones, and I had $200 in my bank account, and I made excuses for 5 and 6 years. I said, look at them, they have all the money. I'm never going to make it in the music industry because I don't have money, I don't have family connections. I came from my humble beginnings. I'm never going to make it. That's what held me back, was not all the other people. It was not the oppressive regime of the United States. It was not all of the wealthy families that had more connection. It was my mindset. It was my mental health that held me back. And my whole life changed when I stopped pointing the finger at everyone else and I pointed inwards. I said, what do I have? Instead of complaining about what I don't have, going on Instagram and like everyone else, oh, I wish I was her, I wish I was him, I wish I was her, I wish I was there, I wish I was here. That's mental illness. That's the opposite of mental health. When you realize, hey, I don't have a lot, but what do I have? What resources do I have? Because some people don't even have what I have. When that became my mindset, my whole life opened up. I got more money. I got more opportunities. I got more love. My whole life changed. My apartment, my life, my mental health, everything. Not by pointing the finger, not by screaming and crying for gun control, not by crying on TV while working with Chuck Schumer behind doors, not by blaming everyone else, not by feeling oppressed, by feeling powerful. Because even if you are in a jungle with no resources, no electronics, and you have every animal in the jungle trying to kill you, what do you think is going to make your life better? Do you think it's going to be, help me, sitting on the floor screaming for help and begging for other people to help you, or being powerful? If you're starting at a lower part on the pyramid, you have to be more powerful. You have to be more strong. You have to be more motivated and work even harder than some people. I knew I was going to have to work 15 times as hard. That's why my back hurts, because it's 10 plus years of nonstop, tens of hundreds of thousands of hours on the computer, working 50 times as hard as other families had to work, because they had money, they had resources, they have investments. I didn't have that. I had to work 50 times as hard. And that's how you become successful. So I'm sick and tired of mental illness becoming the status quo. I'm sick and tired of people needing something to be the status quo, because when you have nothing, that's when you have to work the hardest. That's mental health, and that's the opposite of what's being pushed to our society. That's the opposite of what's being pushed to our kids. That's the opposite of what you're going to find on ESPN and CNN and MSNBC, because they don't care about your mental health. They will make you mentally ill. They will use you for their political agenda when you are mentally ill, and then they'll sell you pills and lawyers in the commercials. This happens. Unhealthy foods. That's all. Oh, YouTube, we can't advertise on Anomaly because he's too... Yeah, but you throw Kraft cheese in people's face and all these disgusting, terrible foods and terrible medicines. You have no problem advertising that. But when it comes to the truth and honesty and motivation and inspiration and gratitude, all of a sudden you have a big problem. Yeah, I can't make money. That's the reality we live in. When you feed people lies, when you feed people unhealthy food, when you feed people mental illness, you're allowed to make millions. You're allowed to be a late night host. You're allowed to be, Anderson Cooper on CNN. When you feed people the truth, when you feed people health, when you feed people knowledge, and when you feed people wisdom, when you feed people the power that they could use to be successful in the society, you get demonized. You get called racist. You get called sexist. You get blocked from all advertisements on YouTube and Google. They make it virtually impossible for me to make money and a living, but I still do because I'm mentally strong. On that note, thank you so much for listening. God bless you. God bless America. God bless the world. And the message to every kid or adult watching this: you are strong, you are powerful. Man, woman, any race, religion, and gender, you're strong, you're powerful. Become inspired. Don't fall for this trap of pointing the finger at everybody else, demanding all of these more government restrictions before we even have an honest conversation about mental health, mental illness, and what's really being pushed onto us. Thank you so much.